Over the last several years, San Francisco has seen those in need. Meet Denise Sandoval.
These are people who get turned away often, who get treated poorly, and our idea is we provide all this extra support. It's like creating community around them, and we call that radical hospitality.
To see radical hospitality.
What does the president actually believe about climate change? Does he still believe it?
The day after the U.S. president withdraws from a global climate deal, the White House refuses to answer a simple question.
It says there's no credible evidence the Russian government interfered in the U.S. presidential election. We'll have a live report from Moscow this hour. After a big interview.
I'm George Howell.
And I'm Natalie Allen. CNN Newsroom starts right now. Simple question. This after making a major change regarding this question. Does U.S. President Donald Trump still believe climate change is a hoax?
Science does say yes. The question has been asked repeatedly. Senior Trump officials, though, they continue to dodge it. This after the president unilaterally yanked the United States out of the historic Paris Climate Accord. CNN's Jim Acosta has this reporting for us.
Thank you very much, everybody.
The climate was warming at the White House as officials from the president to the administrator of the Environmental Protection Agency, Scott Pruitt,
does the president believe today that climate change is a hoax?
Dodged the question.
Does the president believe that climate change is real and a threat to the United States?
You know what's interesting about all the discussions we had through the last several weeks have been focused on one singular issue. Is Paris good or not for this country?
Pruitt echoed President Trump's decision to pull out of the Paris Climate Agreement as a choice in favor of American workers.
They don't put America first. I do, and I always will.
But the head of the EPA also took some jabs at what he described as climate exaggerators, the kind of language used by global warming skeptics.
You are up there throwing out information that says, well, maybe this is being exaggerated and so forth, and you're talking about climate exaggerators. It just seems to a lot of people around the world that you and the president are just denying the reality. And the reality of the situation is that climate change is happening, and it is a significant threat to the planet.
Let me say this, and I've said it in the confirmation process, and I said it yesterday.
Right, no, the Arctic ice and the sea levels.
We have done a tremendous amount as a country to achieve reductions in CO2. And we have done that through technology and innovation. We will continue to do that. We will continue to stay engaged.
They were a little worried that you're putting your head in the sand.
Well, there's no evidence of that.
White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer told reporters earlier this week that he would check on whether the president still believed climate change is a hoax, as he stated in the past. Did Spicer have a chance to clear that up with the president?
I have not had an opportunity to have that discussion.
Spicer and Pruitt joined a growing list of top administration officials dancing around the climate question.
Does President Trump still believe climate change is a hoax?
What President Trump believes is he was elected to grow the U.S. economy and provide great job opportunities.
Does the president still believe global warming is a hoax?
The president believes in a clean environment, clean air, clean water.
Overseas, there were some notable reactions to this decision from French President Emmanuel Macron, who invited American scientists to move to France.
Because wherever we live, whoever we are, we all share the same responsibility. make our planet great again.
To Russia's Vladimir Putin, who appeared to defend Mr. Trump's choice.
We should not create a big noise on this issue.
On the subject of Russia, there are other pressing questions facing the White House, such as whether the president will invoke executive privilege to block former FBI Director James Comey from testifying on Capitol Hill next week. Spicer said that's up in the air.
It's got to be reviewed.
But he insisted the president is standing by his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, amid questions about the White House advisor's dealings with the Russians.
Absolutely.
And EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt made it clear to reporters that the president is open to starting a new round of negotiations for a new Paris climate deal. But over the last 24 hours, in response to the president's announcement, world leaders, including key U.S. allies, have said that's not happening. Jim Acosta, CNN, the White House.